Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our show with a selection of 30 retro photos. Write in the comments the most interesting photo in your opinion. Appreciate our work by subscribing and commenting with your favorite photo. And don't forget, enjoy the show, and we're start. Swedish actress Anita Ekberg in a bedtime photo shoot 1964. New York, 1903. Columbia University and the Hudson River. New Orleans circa 1906. Audubon Place. A private, gated street developed in the 1890s next to Tulane University. ', 1907, Aetna Insurance Company, Hartford, Connecticut. A phantasmagoria of phantom footfalls and paranormal pedestrians. Plus hot popcorn. Detroit circa 1905. Campus Martius, Soldiers and Sailors Monument and Detroit Opera House. New York circa 1906. 42nd Street at Park Avenue, looking west. With the Hotel Belmont at left, Grand Central Station at right, the Hotel Manhattan Center stage and New York Times building in the distance. Boston circa 1913. Tremont Street and the Mall, edge of Boston Common. September 1941. Yakima, Washington. Migratory agricultural workers in shack towns, tents, and trailers. Boys looking for work wait for the Washington State Employment Service office to open in the morning. June 1942. Shasta Dam, Shasta County, California. Workmen. July 1942. Grant County, Oregon. Malheur National Forest. Greasing a logging truck. New Orleans, 1910. Orpheum Theater, St. Charles Theater, St. Charles Street. Matinee daily at 2:15. The Detroit suburbs circa 1912. Lake Drive, Grosse Pointe, Michigan. New York circa 1910. Waldorf Astoria Hotel, 5th Avenue and West 34th Street. Samantha Fox British model tender photo shoot. July 1942. Rupert, Idaho. Former CCC camp now under FSA management. Japanese Americans taking down their flag in the evening. Internees at the Minidoka War Relocation Center. July 1942. Ola, Idaho. FSA Ola Self-Help Cooperative, adjacent timber stand, sawmill and farms. A member of the cooperative and his family at home. This man is a county commissioner. July 1942. Rupert, Idaho. A Japanese-American farm worker at former CCC camp now under FSA management, the Minidoka War Relocation Center. August 1941. Electric plucker removes every pin feather without a tear in the skin. 500 to 1,000 birds could be plucked in a day by this method. Enterprise Co-op Cannery. Coffee County, Enterprise, Alabama. August 1941. Poultry raised under FSA Food for Defense program feeds Army flight trainees. Cadet E.A. Perisic Jr. takes his third helping of fried chicken. Craig Field, Southeastern Air Training Center, Selma, Alabama. August 1941. Recreation, Archery. Southeastern Air Training Center, Craig Field, Selma, Alabama. Army Air Cadet Peck. May 1942. Childersburg, Alabama. Causa Court housing project for defense workers in boom area around the DuPont powder plant. The Smiths share the drudgery of housework, for they both have important war jobs. May 1942. Childersburg, Alabama. Street scene. May 1942. Childersburg, Alabama. Police force. May 1942. Arlington, Virginia. Operations in auto body plant and storage of frozen cars. Buffing surface of a car body prior to painting. Cars frozen by Office of Price Administration ruling stored on Virginia farm. June 1942. Brooklyn, New York. Red Hook housing development. Mrs. James Caputo in the modern kitchen of her apartment, pouring milk for Annette and Jimmy. The children drink more than a quart apiece daily. The incomparable Sophia Loren during filming. June 1942. Brooklyn, New York. Red Hook housing development. Diving pool at the Play Center, which is supervised by the city's Department of Parks. There are separate pools for swimming and diving. June 1942. Brooklyn, New York. Red Hook housing development. Children in waiting pool at Play Center, which is supervised by the city's Department of Parks. There are separate pools for swimming and diving. June 1942. Brooklyn, New York. Red Hook housing development. Jimmy Caputo, 7 years old, and Annette, 4, at their nightly prayers. July 1942. Decatur, Alabama. Ingalls Shipbuilding Company. Construction of ocean-going barges for the U.S. Army. Welder's helper shading his eyes from the welder's torch. July 1942. Decatur, Alabama. Ingalls Shipbuilding Company. Construction of ocean-going barges for the U.S. Army on the Tennessee River. A ship fitter and his helper. They are C.R. Willingham, Wright, and E. L. Sparkman. July 1942. Decatur, Alabama. Ingalls Shipbuilding Company. A young tacker working on one of the barges. December 1942. Chicago, Illinois. In the Proviso Yard Roundhouse, Chicago Northwestern Railroad. April 1943. Airman on wing of B-24 bomber at U.S. Army 9th Air Force Base somewhere in Libya. December 1938. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Christmas tree over the door of a bar on Market Street. June 1942. Brooklyn, New York. Red Hook Housing Project. Mrs. Caputo washes son Jimmy's ears. He is recovering from infantile paralysis. July 13, 1919. Washington, D.C., bathing beauties, ladies swimming meet at Tidal Basin Bathing Beach. July 4, 1919. Washington's men and women who served during the war gathered at the base of the Washington Monument, receiving medals of honor provided by the citizens of the District of Columbia. Washington, D.C., Playground, Madison School Baseball, May 20, 1914. March 13, 1936. Washington, D.C., man and woman disembarking from train. From somewhere in Wisconsin, sometime in the 1950s, comes this Kodachrome slide of a guy getting his hair cut. Tragically, this was before the invention of the internet and social media, so no one aside from his family, friends, or other people in the room was able to like the results or comment thereon. Easter 1956. Mike and Barbara at their home in Menominee with the grandparents, amid a polychrome plenitude of knickknacks and tchotchkes. New York, 1949. West 42nd Street in Manhattan just off Times Square. The North Woods circa 1958. Jim Baker and Mike. The Upper West Side circa 1906. New York, Broadway, north from 70th Street. With a view of the 72nd Street subway station, flanked by the Ansonia Hotel at left and Doralton Apartment House on the right. Lansing, Michigan, circa 1907. City Hall. Where the time is IXLIII, or 17 minutes to 2. Savannah, Georgia, 1907. Broughton Street looking west. With a view of the department store founded by Leopold Adler at the corner of Broughton and Bull. Savannah, Georgia, 1907. Broughton Street looking west. With a view of the department store founded by Leopold Adler at the corner of Broughton and Bull. New York circa 1908. Murray Hill and Belmont Hotels, Park Avenue. The old Grand Central Station in the distance. The bonus photo. The incredible figure of Sophia Loren, 1963. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the end of our show. I hope you are impressed. See you again.